welcome to my TED Talk. What's up everybody, Ryan here. I figured I have all this skill I've accumulated through college on making PowerPoints. Why not present it on the biggest screen I own? Without further ado, let's get started on the dominant chord. Yeah! Chapter 1. What is the dominant chord? As you can tell, we have the fantastic Little John, who also agrees with us. So the dominant chord is a chord based around the 5th scale degree in the key. What is all of that? So in the key of C, we'd have a chord based around G, right? Because C, D, E, F, G, that's our 5th. The dominant chord is also the strongest resolution in traditional music. You hear this thing at the end of phrases all the time. As soon as I play it, you're gonna be like, oh, that one. Chapter 2, how do you build this thing? Well, if we're in the key of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, we're gonna start on the 5 chord, G, take that note, skip the next one, which is A, and then take B, skip the next one, which is C, and then take the D note. So we have G, B, D as our dominant chord. As you can see, I've made a picture to illustrate us building the dominant chord with the 5, the 7, and the 2. Very straightforward, great piece of art. I think Picasso actually painted this one. Next slide. What's this resolution sound like, 5 to 1? Well, take a listen right now. So, what'd you think? Pretty neat, right? This is an easy slide. Next. Chapter 3. Why? Answer? Notes. On a more detailed level, this works because it's based around the 2nd strongest scale degree. What does that mean? Well, the root in whatever key we're in is going to be the strongest thing we can play. The next strongest is the 5th. The perfect 5th based around the key is a very strong, firm interval. So any chord you make around that creates this temporary sense of home and this pull. What you're doing is you're kind of stretching a rubber band and creating tension and then snapping it back to your home base. On a less theoretical and more note-based concept, the 5, right, G is going to stay because it's in both G and C. The 7, the B note snaps up to the C note, and that creates this really strong resolution because the half step is the most powerful thing we can grab in music. And then the 2nd goes down to the root as well. So the D note goes down to C. I know the next question you're lining up to say, right? Well, what about the E note in the C chord? What about the 3rd? We have this voicing that has this rich 5 to 1, but the 1 is all kind of hollow. It's firm because it has the root and the 5th, but it lacks the color of the 3rd. As you can see, I ranked it as a 3 out of 10 tension and a 3 out of 10 release. It doesn't have as much tension as we like, and it doesn't resolve as powerful as we'd like either. Well, we can fix that though. So we need to create more tension on the dominant chord so we have a greater release when we go back to the tonic or the root chord. And we do that by extending the harmony on our dominant chord. What do we do for that? We just keep doing the take skip. So we skip the 3rd in the key and we take the 4th, and that becomes the 7th on our chord, right? We take the 4th scale degree of the entire key, which is F, and then we add that F note to the G chord. Adding the 7th to the dominant chord creates such a greater sense of tension and release because we're adding this fantastic half-step resolution from F to E, and both chords get significantly more color. Chapter 5, going even further beyond that.
And this, what's he doing? Is to go even further beyond.
We don't have to stop just at the 7th. We can keep going with our take skip harmony to add more tension and more release and more color to this 5-1 resolution. So we'd skip a note and then we'd take the 9th for the chord or the 6th scale degree in the key, in our case, A. Our resolution stays the same from the 5 to 1. The only thing we're going to add is that 9th, A, is going to go down to G for the 1 chord, or if you're looking to make that 1 chord major 7, it's going to go up to B. We have 2 more diatonic notes we can add for color on our dominant chord, and we do that by continuing our take-skip process. So we end up taking the first scale degree, and then we take the third scale degree. So now we have a 7-note diatonic chord. Wow. All the rest of our resolutions remain the same, except for the 11th we added, the C on the dominant chord is just going to stay on C when we go to our root chord. And then the E we added on the dominant chord is going to stay E when we go to the root chord. Chapter 6, the rules. Break them. You have a whole bunch of options. The only ones I covered were diatonic, but all of these resolutions are not set in stone. You can go up or down, or you can maintain color. Whatever ends up being the best sounding option. All of these rules are really guidelines, but you're going to develop your own tips and tricks on what you like and what voicings you enjoy and how much space you like and how much register and everything in between. Well, that's all, folks. Once again, my name is Ryan Strumpler over at Doublebarmusic, but today in my apartment doing a slideshow for nobody else but you. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want me to go over anything else about harmony or dominant chords, or if there's anything you want me to cover in general. And for everything else, just remember, this is probably the greatest slideshow of all time, and maybe I'll just go into the slideshow industry.